The All Progressives Grand Alliance has indeed said that the Anambra State Governor, Charles Chukwuma Soludo, will not succumb to criminal elements working hard to blackmail and derail efforts at curtailing insecurity in the state. The party said no matter what the criminal elements are doing, it stands by the governor's decision to end the Monday sit-at-home in Anambra, and it cannot be changed.
The national coordinator, APGA Media Warriors Forum, Chinedu Obigwe, noted that the state government had given the criminals, including those hiding under the guise of enforcing the already cancelled IPOB sit-at-home order, enough time to repent. Now, just yesterday, which is Sunday, here's what the streets of Anambra looked like before today.
Luchi, that's what you see there on the streets is exactly what happened yesterday. That's the street of Anambra, by the way, on a Sunday. Looking a bit scanty, by the way, Oluchi.
Very scanty. Now, we also have on standby, we have News Central's Felicity, who is on standby to join us this morning. Good morning, Felicity. Can you tell us, I mean, we just saw what the neighborhood looked like yesterday, being Sunday, but can you tell us what the neighborhood is looking like today in Anambra?
Good morning, guys. This is how it looks, almost empty. You heard the lone bike that just passed. That's the most you will see. I've been on this road since 6:30 this morning, and I've not seen a vehicle on this part of the road. I'm currently at Nobi, the road that connects to places like Okija and Ihiala. You also have this road connecting to Aguata, the local government where you had the attack at the Secretariat and the cattle market. Hopefully we'll be there by tomorrow when movement will resume. We wanted to go around, but there is no movement. Like basically, while we were standing and trying to set up to have this conversation with you, 3 boys just came up to us and said, "Don't you know today is sit at home? What are you doing here? Oh, you want to try me?" and stuff like that. So there is still this tension in spite of what the governor had said and the OB of Onitsha announcing that the sit-at-home has been cancelled, commemorated by the Thanksgiving on Monday last week. Today, you would have expected that you see people on the street, but that is not happening. And some persons are saying that the closing of local government, the 21 local government secretariats in the state, as announced by the governor yesterday, is not a welcome development if what they are planning to do is stop the sit-at-home. And then you say, for now, all local government secretariats should be closed to forestall any further attack on the local government. As you guys know, some of the local governments have been attacked in recent days. You had the one at Newi. You had the police stations that were attacked, officers that were killed while they were on duty. I'm talking about the Federal Road Safety. Also in Aguata local government. So a lot has been happening. Right now, there are no activities on the street aside from the lone person. You see, I don't know if a cameraman can just do a quick pan for you to see what it looks like. Nothing. The road, this road is usually very, very busy. And if you saw the video that was showed earlier, you see some activity. Every minute, there is somebody on the road.
All right, Felicity, well, as of last week, there was a prayer session staged by the governor aimed at praying for perpetrators of insecurity in the state. Can you confirm to us this morning if this prayer had any effect at all, especially having spoken to a few residents?
Even the prayer itself saw very little participation from what I gathered from residents around here. Nobody showed up for the prayer. Everybody's at their home. The man that brought us from the airport was telling us that, yes, sometimes they go to work because they have private cars. And even when you're going, you have to be very careful because you won't even see these men on this, what we now call the unknown gunmen. You won't see them. They will just appear from nowhere. And before you know it, either you're beaten up or your vehicle vandalized and, issues like that. That prayer held. But it didn't have as much representation. People didn't show up. And you can see today is a Monday, and every week in Nigeria is a busy day. It's the start of the week, working week for us. But you can see this road, nothing is happening.
Nothing indeed is happening in Felicity. But what are residents saying about the obnoxious sit-at-home order, which seem to have been hijacked by different groups other than the IPOB, that's the indigenous people of Biafra?
Okay, so obviously there are some confusion when it comes to who is in charge. There are factions of IPOB. One faction is saying they are in support of the sit-at-home. Another faction is saying there is no sit-at-home until their request. And this time, if you recall, the sit-at-home was basically to try and garner, to show that the Southerners and the Southeast support the movement for the realization of the Republic of Biafra. And now it has metamorphosed to seeking the release of Nnamdi Kanu. People here are more scared than anything. They are more worried for their safety. They are more interested in their daily bread. And they know that if they come out, you could be harassed. There is nobody to come and save you. I spoke to the new commissioner who was installed the day before, and he said to give him some time, that he will get back to me. I'm hoping to see him tomorrow if we have the time and movement is free as usual. We're able to speak to him and hear what the government is really planning to do. Because you can't say there is no sit-at-home and people are all over the place. I also spoke to the public relations officer, police public relations officer in Anambra. He also said that there are some sort of patrol. I was hoping to join them, but they are in Oka, I'm in the Navy. So it's just a mixed bag, really. People are more concerned about their safety, and they will tell you point blank, I am not going anywhere. I am staying in my house until there is some sort of resolution.
All right, Felicity, you just mentioned the PPRO of Anambra State. Coincidentally, we do have him on the line. He's joining us as well this morning while we are also talking to you. We have the State PPRO, Ikenganya T. Anthony. Good morning. Thank you for joining us via the telephone this morning on Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and good morning to our good listeners.
All right. Can you tell us what security operatives are doing in relation to the sit-at-home decree imposed on Anambarians? You just heard our correspondent as well, Breakfast Central and News Central correspondent, who actually has said that everywhere it seems to be dry, still remains the same. So what are operatives doing now?
Well, as you heard from Felicity, yeah, I remember talking with her yesterday, and she wanted to grant an result of where she was, so she will try and make it this morning. Yes, for us here, the police has always been around, and we are friends. If we have been following the security situation, security concerns here in Anambra, we understand that Nigerian police, that's the police command here in Anambra and other security agencies, these are the sacrifices that we have made. That is what brought us to where we are now. And I can assure you that we are winning. We are winning because this is not the way it was. And the command used to use this opportunity to call for honest and patriotic involvement in the Anambra, because even the state government has even suggested prayers. This will tell you that there is a desperate move and calling for honest and patriotic involvement of all stakeholders in view of making sure that these things are left at home is tackled and people start coming out.
Right.
Assuring people safety, because the commander, the commissioner of police in the person of CP Echeng has ordered all the head of tactical units on or before now, even the divisional police officers and the head of the strategic department, that's the area commander, to intensify confidence building patrol and crime prevention patrol. Now we are extending it to the government infrastructure, like the local government, highways, and residential areas, even places of worship. And that is what we are doing.
All right, Anthony, now looking at the situation of things in Anambra, there seems to be a little bit of confusion. I mean, we just heard from our correspondent Felicity talking about who is in charge of the sit-at-home order. Now, on one hand, we hear that the IPOB has come out to declare that sit-at-home on Mondays is null and void. On the other hand, we see some non-IPOB groups who have seemed to have hijacked the situation. Can you tell us what your men are doing to ensure that the non-IPOB groups do not cause mayhem if they're not causing mayhem at the moment? And the state for indigents who come out to say, I am coming out to look for my daily bread. I'm coming out to set up my business. I'm coming out to ensure that my family can get something to eat at the end of the day.
For us, crime is crime. For whatever guys anybody wants to use to perpetrate crime, for us it's crime. And Anambra State Police Command is treating such as crime. And we want to use this opportunity to call for public trust. Want to assure the members of the public that the confidence that they repose on police, we are not taking it for granted, especially as it regards to maintenance of law and order and protection of life and property. And that is what we are doing. So anybody on any side that wants to commit crime or any way, once the person is apprehended, we make the person face the wrath of justice.
All right, let's also ask you, do you see this stopping anytime soon? It seems it's taken a longer time. It's lingering. There are statements, counter statements, and just as our eyes and ears on the ground, Felicity just mentioned that even the prayer session was not joined by many persons. Is there any hope at the end of the tunnel? Not light, but hope.
When I was coming to work this morning, currently now I'm in the office here in Oka, there is movement. And just like I said, the police command is sending their patrol in all parts of Anambra. I hope to see Felicity in my office as we have agreed, so that we can also have a formal discussion just as from.
All right. Okay, let's quickly, thank you so much for talking to us, but let's quickly go back to Felicity Ezewuike, who's also still there in Anambra. Felicity, it's good to have you. Well, first off, you've already broken it down to us. You've shown us what the streets look like and so on and so forth. But when have residents mentioned to you, when is that time where they are free to move on a Monday morning? Or is it 24 hours?
Okay, so I got a feeling from speaking to some of the people around me that from 6 p.m. there seems to be some sort of movement. Some shops are open, but the markets remain shut. Offices, of course, would have closed ordinarily by that time. So from 6 p.m., basically, you have some sort of movement, but still restricted because people are afraid. You don't know when somebody's going to come at you. For now, that's what I do know.
Right now, Felicity, we understand that the sit-at-home order has been ongoing for months now, and schools have not been excluded from the non-activity in Anambra State. Can you tell us if there's still a makeup for it on Saturdays, not just for schools, but for other activities that should be happening around Anambra on a Monday?
But I can speak specifically to the education. I understand that some schools are having remedial classes on Saturday to keep the children busy. Otherwise, they'll be having long weekdays, that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So some schools are devising ways, and some organizations as well. I also hear that some banks, I cannot independently verify though, that some banks are working on Saturdays as well, full time, just to make up for the fact that they don't work on Mondays. Initially, they said some banks were working, but when the attack started getting to them, they had to shut down and, join the sit-at-home. For now, the sit-at-home still, I think mostly it has to do with fear. You don't see them coming. That's what they say. They just, you might be in your vehicle and somebody will just get to you. That's what residents tell me.
So that means it's more like saying there's a fear of it already has been hijacked, as rightly put, by even some IPOB members and the IPOB representatives as well. But regardless of whatever it comes with, we want to say stay safe, Felicity, and we look forward to talk to you again here on Breakfast Central.
Yeah, I certainly look forward to it. Hopefully we'll get to Aguata, then we can speak to you live as to what's happening.
All right. Okay, still with us, we do have the PPRO of the state, Tony Anthony, who's still here with us. Anthony, before we let you go, we just want to ask one last question, very quickly, still on this issue, and that question is, can you give us a timeline of events that possibly we should expect to see in curbing this menace?
I didn't get you.
Can you give us a timeline of what we are expecting to see in order for us to curb this menace, this problem in Anambra? Is there any timeline of plans, activities from your end?
For us, I want to use this opportunity to assure the members, the public, especially in the Anambra, that the confidence reposed in the police and other security agencies, especially on the protection of life and property and maintenance of law and order, will never be taken for granted. And we also want to use this opportunity to call for increase in information flow from the members of the public to the police, because most of the successes and our achievements, we must give it back to the Anambra, because it's as a result of from the information they give us, that's how we're able to react and tackle and address some security signs as they come up. So we want to use this opportunity for us to urge them to sustain it, as we intensify patrols to make sure that our community, Anambra, is more safe. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ikenganya T. Anthony, Anambra State PPRO, for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.